Hello friends, and welcome to Escaping the Mouse with your host, me, Breck Roll. Alright, if you remember about a year ago when I was taking down Christmas decorations last year, I decided I'd had enough of getting up in the tree and trying to hang up my decorations every year. It was a little too scary to be up in the tree with a ladder on uneven ground because my yard kind of slopes down a little bit, and also the pecan trees in the front drive are really flexible and they bend a lot, so you get the wind going and you're like going back and forth on the ladder, and it was like really nerve-wracking. And I'm getting to the point where I'm too old to be up on a ladder like that, climbing into trees and risking falling on my butt. So last year I decided, I'd been thinking about this for a while, and I decided I wanted to try and figure out some way where I could hang my Christmas decorations without actually having to get up in the tree. Now I've got this big long extender bar that's like used for like painting really long, distant surfaces away, for painting the top of a two-story building. This is perfect for you because it extends to about 15 feet long, and I put a little hook on it, and I attached some hooks in the tree last year and used it a little bit for Halloween this year, but it was really easy to put stuff up on there on Halloween because I didn't have to get any electrical up there. My hangman, my cowboy ghoul, my other stuff I hung up in the tree, none of it was electrical. So it was just a matter of lassoing the ring over the hook, and that was actually really easy to do with a hook. But this year, now that we're up to Christmas, I need to be able to not only hang the decorations in the tree, but string the electrical wire. And that's going to be the real test of this. Let me show you what we did. As you can see up in the tree, there's a number of hooks that I placed here. There's one here, there's another one over there. I don't know if you can see it. There's two of them on this branch, one there, and another one here. And actually, I wanted to test to see if I could do this right the first time. And so I actually put one up there, and one of the little spritzers is up and hanging right now and working. And I was able to string the electrical cord using my long extender pole here. This is that extender pole right there. And like I said, it's about 15 feet long, and so it makes it really easy to kind of get stuff lassoed over that hook. And I put just a little hook on the end of this thing so I can hang the rings that I have, and built some just little harness things here. You can see them here that have a ring on one side and then just a loop on the other side. And what I'll do is I'll lasso the loop over the hook, and then I can use the same mechanism to string the cord up in the tree. And like I said, I wanted to see if it was work. I've never tried this before. I did it, a little bit with Halloween this year, but like I said, there was no electrical. The big deal was to be getting the electricity up there, and it's worked pretty well. And let me kind of show you how this works. Alright, this is one of those little spritzer things. I bought this from Home Depot a couple years ago. They're really, really cool. They're pretty. They kind of flash different colors. And they come with this little hook on the end of them. And basically I built this little, just a little string thing with a ring on the end of it. I loop the rope hook around this thing, and then I can lift the whole thing up into the tree using the ring and that extender pole. Let me kind of show you how that works. Alright, now that I got the hook on the extender pole, all I got to do is lift it up and lasso it over the hook that's in the tree. Once I got it, pull it out, and the spritzer's up there. Now all I got to do is string the electrical cord, and that's not too bad either. I came up with a way to do that. Let me show you how I'm handling that. Alright, so the first thing I want to do is I want to plug in the cord from the spritzer into the extension cord. And since I'm going to be using a rope system to pull the cord up there, I don't want it to come disconnected. So first thing I'm doing is taping up the connection, taping the two cords together with electrical tape. And that'll kind of hold everything together, so when I'm pulling it up into the tree, it doesn't come unplugged, because that's the last thing you want. You want to get it halfway up in the tree and all of a sudden it comes unplugged and you got to pull it all back down again. So I'm gonna wrap around there, just kind of tie everything together nice and securely. Go around a few times here because we want it to stick. Can't hold on to it. Geez, I'm a mess today. And there we go. We got that all electrical taped together. Now, I'm going to string this up into the tree, and let me show you how I do that. Alright, this is just a stupid little thing I made. It's a piece of 2x4 with an eye bolt on screwed into the end of it, and about a 15-foot long piece of cord here. And at the end of that cord is a loop. And so when I get to the end of it here, there's just a little bit of a loop. And what I'll do is I'll take the end of my extension cord, wrap it around there, tighten it down, and now all I got to do is to get this thing up over the tree. Now, sometimes I get lucky and I can actually throw this over the tree, but the extender pole I have works just as well as on this as it does for the raising the spritzer. So what I do is I just literally hook the hook of this piece of 2x4 onto my loop, and I can kind of fling it up over the tree using the extender pole, and then the gravity will pull it down, and then I can use this to pull the cord up over the tree and route it where I need to go. Let me show you how that works. Alright, once again I've got the weight attached to the extender pole. I just kind of lift it up over, push it onto the other side and drop it. And if it doesn't come down nice and smoothly, I can kind of grab it and pull it down with the extender pole. And now all I'm going to do is grab the wood piece and pull the extension cord up over the top. And now that I got the cord routed down up around the tree up there and coming down the trunk, I can plug it in, and my second spritzer's online here. And looks pretty good, right? So I got two of them up. This one's kind of red and white. The one out there across the street is kind of blue and white. And I got two more to put up. And I'm going to put those up and probably not film it so much, but show you the finished results at the end. There's also two other things I need to put up. And they're a little bit heavier, and that'll be a little bit more complicated, but I don't think it'll be bad. Alright, a little bit of time has gone by. I got all the spritzers up in the tree. They look really good. I'm not actually going to turn them on tonight. This is just kind of a test to make sure it works. But I got everything up and electrified. It isn't looking that good right now because it's still light out. But we got them all routed up there, and they're all up in the tree. And I think this looks really good. This was definitely a superior option to getting up there with a ladder, because like I said, you know, the ground under the tree is kind of sloping down to the street, so I always had to be on a kind of a unlevel surface when I was doing this kind of stuff, and it was always scary. And then, like I said, these pecan trees, the branches sway and flex so much that, you know, a little bit of wind and you're going back and forth like this, and that's really scary when you're 10, 15 feet off the ground. So like I said, I managed to get all this up in the tree without having to go into the tree. I still got to work on it a little bit. There's a couple things that were a little bit difficult, and I had took a little thinking to get through, but it is all up there and looking really good. So I'm really happy with this, and we're going to turn it off for now, and tomorrow we're going to continue putting all this stuff up, and including those Christmas trees that I did a few days ago. And I think this yard's going to look really good. So I think that's all I have right now for tonight. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn these off, and then we'll turn them back on a little bit after dark just to kind of get the full effect. So I'll catch up with you in a little bit. Okay, it's after dark, and these things look amazing as usual. You know, I really like these things. They're something you can just get from Home Depot from the website. Just look on the website and type in the word Spitzer or Spritzer, and they've got different colors. There's large ones and small ones. These are the big ones. They're probably about 16, 18 inches in diameter, and they got different colors and flashing lights and stuff like that. And like I said, I got a handful of different colored ones. That one over there is is red and green, looks really nice. These things I picked up last year at Slovacek's in West Texas, and they're these giant metal ornaments designed for you to hang in trees. Now I modified them a little bit. I put some Christmas lights in them so that they glow a little bit, and that's why I had to run power down to them too. Otherwise these would just run on their own. You know, you wouldn't need any power whatsoever on these, but I don't know, I think they look pretty good. Like I said, I got a lot of work to do out here because this is just the beginning. Those Christmas trees that I showed you in one of my past videos, they're still going out here, and I still got to have the Christmas lights going up on the house. So that's probably what I'm going to do tomorrow. I'm kind of glad I got these things all hooked up and running though, because like I said, it's kind of a start, and I wasn't sure how all of this was going to work, you know, what with the, you know, putting them in the tree, not going on ladders this time. But I don't know, I think it worked. I think this is something we're going to do. Like I said, I got to modify the process a little bit because there are a couple parts of it were a little complicated to do. But the truth is, I kind of learned as I went along installing these things tonight. And I don't know, I think this is definitely something that can be made to work. So anyway, I think that's all I have for today. Thank you as always for watching, and I'll see you next time on Escaping the Mouse. Good night.